pollution is perceived as the second biggest environmental concern for Europeans after climate change. That's from the European Commission. 10 times more people are killed by air pollution than by road accidents in the EU. The UN has said that the failure of governments across the world to ensure their citizens breathe clean air is a violation of the rights to life, health and well-being. The Clean Air Alliance has said that 4 people die in Ireland every day from the effects of air pollution. 1,150 premature deaths in Ireland are attributable to air pollution. Up until the 6th of June, and you gave me the answer yesterday yourself, Minister, there were 98 breaches of the daily limit in relation to air pollution recorded in the state. 65 of those were in Dublin. I give you some samples. 4 of the breaches in Blanchardstown, 2 in the Phoenix Park, 12 in Ringsend and 11 in Enniscorthy. Even more in places like Davitt Road and other heavily industrialised areas. Air pollution is a major cause of premature death and disease, and it is the single largest environmental health risk in Europe, causing in Europe around 400,000 premature deaths per year. The report published in 2018, using data for 2015, indicates 1,150 premature deaths in Ireland. Heart disease and stroke are the most common reasons for premature death attributable to air pollution. Air pollution leads to reduced lung function, respiratory infections and aggravated asthma, particularly in children, as we know. The current rental crisis in terms of poor accommodation is adding to the asthma crisis because of mould and bacteria in poor rental accommodations. Recent evidence suggests the central nervous system is also affected. So what I want to ask the Minister is, what does your government propose to do about it? I don't actually want a 340 or a 640 long list of things that you're going to do out to 2040, as in your government's proposals. I actually want to see action in the here and now that relieves people who are suffering this, and which in particular relieves children who are suffering this. Air pollution and climate change are intertwined. Several air pollutants are also climate forcers, which have a potential impact on climate and global warming in the short term. Air quality and climate change should be tackled jointly using policies and measures that have been developed through an integrated approach. Now, what I'm afraid of in this respect is that this government is all talk and almost no action in relation to what's killing Irish people and Irish children on a monthly, weekly and yearly basis.
Minister Burton has 4 minutes.
You know, I'd like to thank both Deputy Brown and Deputy Burton for raising this very important issue. There's no doubt that Ireland does face challenges in relation to what they call ambient air pollution, which is pollution at particular places at particular times in respect of particular substances. The most serious problem we have is with particulate matter, particularly in our smaller towns like Enniscorthy, as Deputy Brown has adverted to. The issue has risen that both of my predecessor ministers gave a commitment that they would extend the smoky coal ban, as is known, to the remaining parts of the country. A number of coal firms have indicated that they would legally challenge this decision by the 2 former ministers, and not only challenge the extension of the ban, but also the existing ban. Now, I'm not in any way taking fright in respect of this. I've taken careful counsel from the Attorney General, and his advice is that I need to take heed of this challenge, that this could not only jeopardise the extension but also jeopardise the ban that is already in place. So I am taking care to consult with the Attorney General so that we can bring forward robust measures to deal with this. I think, as the Deputy knows, the nub of the issue here is that the existing bans include smoky coal but exclude wood and peat. And when you come to evaluate particulate matter, which is the core pollutant that we're concerned about here, there is little or no difference between those two types of product. So we do need to consider how do we deal with this proposal. I am fully committed to having a clean air strategy and developing proposals, robust proposals to deal with this. On the second issue that Deputy Burton raises, and this is a number of breaches of the particulate matter. This is a matter of significant concern. What has been a factor this year is that there have been 2 transboundary air pollution events which affected our air quality during 2019, when pollutants from other countries were carried into Ireland, one in February and a more significant event over the Easter weekend, and these have contributed to numerous breaches at several of the stations. However, our background level of pollutants are too high, and this is underscored by the fact that I am extending through the EPA the number of air quality monitoring network, and we need to improve our performance. In terms of the commitments to the future, we have significant commitments across all of the key pollutants, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, non-methane volatile organic compounds, ammonia and particulate matter. We will meet 4 of those in respect of the 2020 targets that we have set ourselves, but ammonia remains a problem area and we do need to address that. They will face challenges in the other areas as economic activity grows, and we have currently out for consultation a National Air Pollution Control Programme to identify the measures and programmes that will deliver on the reduction of targets that are needed. It's not true to say that there is no action being taken in respect of this. Besides the issue of a ban on particular fuels, we are taking consistent and determined action to improve pollutants coming from both the transport sector and from the home heating sector. And they are involved in the very significant reductions in emission standards in motor vehicles, the promotion of electric vehicles, the promotion of retrofitting of heating systems and the improving of our heating system. And the Climate Action Plan will represent a significant stepping up of ambition in these areas. But I accept the Deputy's point that we have a problem. I'm determined to find a way to implement an effective improvement in particulate matter coming from home heating fuels, and I'm working with the Attorney General to find a solution.
Thank you. Minister, what we really want to see is a clean air strategy to set out bold steps on cleaning up our air. And we actually do know what will work in towns like Enniscorthy. Stop the smoky coal, but in addition plant trees, plant hedges, plant ivy. All of the European and the UK research, which is very advanced, has shown that all of those, even in very polluted locations in towns and cities, actually have a massive improving effect on air quality. Map out how much disease is caused by dirty air and what steps we are taking to end this. The HSE is well over budget, as we know. The government has lost control of the budget of the HSE. Well, why not actually act to have clean air in this country and reduce the incidence of all of those diseases and conditions that dirty air is causing in adults and children? Actually pledge the government to go green. Green our towns, green our villages, grow back our hedgerows. They're being ripped out all over the country in terms of your government's agricultural policy. We know the steps that we can take to actually alter this. They're not incredibly expensive at all. In fact, over a 5 to 7 year period, I have absolutely no doubt that they will save the state budgets a considerable amount of money. Think back to Mary Harney and the ban on smoky coal in Dublin. That was a single action. So I would urge you, Minister, to have courage and take on the coal firms who are polluting so many towns. You only have to stand on the hill outside Enniscorthy on a bad day and you'll see the pall of smoke sitting over the town. That shouldn't be in this day and age. Maybe you should just go and visit it yourself.
Minister, 2 minutes.
I think I explained in my earlier comments the precise source of the problem here. It is the polluting equivalence of two types of fuel, or a number of types of fuel. It's not just smoky coal, it's equally peat and wood. And I fully acknowledge that scientific evidence has strengthened the concern about air pollution that comes from particulate matter in particular. But I think the House would not thank me if I came forward with regulations that collapsed and were not robust. And I think the deputies would regard it as prudent that I seek to have proposals that are robust and stand up to legal challenge. I wouldn't be doing any service to the people of Enniscorthy or anywhere else if I didn't do that. And it's with that in mind that I'm taking the care to ensure that what I do is robust and effective. I should say that we have made significant progress in relation to air quality. We will meet the 65% reduction in sulphur dioxide. We'll meet the 49% reduction in nitrogen oxides, 25% reduction in non-methane volatile organic compounds, 18% reduction in particulate matter. So we will meet those targets that were set, but I fully recognise that we have to do a lot better and that we need to bring forward measures that will deliver on the ambitions that we've set for the next decade.